Good evening everyone, you join me here at the installation of the Constable of the Tower, here live from the Tower of London. And that is Lieutenant Sophie Williams from the Grenadier Guards there, ordering the Grenadier Guards to return to shoulder arms. Now being commanded to stand at ease over there. They are of course joined by the yeomen of the guard, who are also stood at ease currently as well. I believe that's the yeomen of the guard. And here we have the new Chief Constable of the Tower being installed here. I believe that is the Lord Chamberlain carrying out the installation of the Constable, the new Constable of the Tower of London, which is of course Chris Trenchard. That is the trumpeter sounding the... I don't know what he's sounding, but there's a colour sergeant, I believe Edward Lascelles, but I'm not sure. Bit of confusion there from the powers that be. Actually, I think that's the Chamberlain there. Looks like some sort of... I don't know who that is. Deputy of some sort, I don't know. Who we just had. Not too familiar with these people. Oh yes, this is the Lord Chamberlain, as it's on behalf of His Majesty the King. The keys are now being delivered to the new chief, or the new Constable of the Tower of London. The keys being seen there on the little pillow there. That is the new Constable, Chris Trenchard, accepting the keys from the Lord Chamberlain. Now he's placing his hand upon the keys. That there, I believe, is the Archbishop of Canterbury, Liam Shepherd. Now the parade will be called to attention by Lieutenant Sophie Williams. As I said earlier, we have the Grenadier Guards on parade as well as the Yeomen of the Guard as well. Being commanded into a sloping of arms. And presumably into a general salute. Yeah, or sorry, royal salute rather. And then this will be followed by the national anthem, I'm assuming. Very good synchronization there from the Grenadier Guards. The national anthem. Now the parade will be commanded back up from the salute by Lieutenant Sophie Williams again, and then into shoulder arms, or hype as it is in the Grenadier Guards, as their traditions differ from the rest of the British Army, or British Armed Forces in general, in regards to their rifle drill. Here we have the Chamberlain taking the keys from the Yeoman Guard over there, now saluting the Constable, who's just been newly inaugurated, and now they're going to inspect the Yeoman of the Guard, obviously starting off from the sort of leading, what rank? Sergeant of some sort. Is that a staff? Oh. Yeoman Gaoler. There we go. Not too familiar with the ranks for the Yeoman Guardsmen. And now an inspection will occur of the Yeoman of the Guard. The Yeomen of the Guard are all formed up of current and former serving personnel who have to have had that record in order to join. So they will be synonymous with inspections and the sorts from their service in the British Armed Forces. As I'm sure anyone else who has served in the Armed Forces will be familiar with. Inspections being carried out at least weekly. It's on a Sunday at 8 o'clock. Usually following the similar format of stating their rank, name, and then sir, or whatever else the correct styling is used for. Salute is given as well upon the initial inspection of the guardsman by the constable. If you know, it's a standard practice within the military, or any sort of organisation with military ties, should we say? Oh dear, it doesn't seem the Chief Constable is too impressed. And that is Yeoman Partial, who also serves as the Chief Executive of the Falkland Islands and has 2 medals there, which I believe looks like a British Empire medal and a Long Service Good Conduct medal. Yeoman, again, you can see his RAF service there, as evidenced by his RAF wings, with some medals. I'm not sure what those medals are, but medals nonetheless. Again, what looks like another British Empire medal and some older style medal of some sort using the golden facing, so presumably a veteran of the community. And now with the inspection having been completed, the Constable then returns to the chap at the front there, and will then presumably move on to inspect the Grenadier Guards. See the Yeoman Guards being a ceremonial unit. And now we proceed over to the Grenadier Guards for an inspection, with Lieutenant Sophie Williams taking the salute there, with the Tower of London detachment from a mixture of King's Company and Nijmegen Company, of course. Starting there with Warrant Officers Class 2, Edward Molyneux, someone I previously worked with during my service in the Guards. Very competent NCO there. Same going for Sophie Williams, of course, a very competent, very capable officer as well. Colour Sergeant Worth. Sergeant Straggard Falk, a previous Chief Executive of the Falkland Islands, who's just assumed the office of Deputy Governor, who has rather infamous within the islands, shall we say. And I've interviewed him before during my time with ABC News. And also had served with him previously within the Guards as well. Now moving into more of this more junior NCO, just along in this rank. So Lance Sergeants being the equivalent to corporals within the rest of the army, for those of you unfamiliar with the Grenadier Guards rank structure. slowly making our way through the inspection of the Grenadier Guards rank here. Now we're going to the rear of the rank to inspect the warrant officers gathered here. I believe that is Sergeant Major Lucas Potter there, who is the quartermaster for the Grenadier Guards. As I said, it's about to hand the Constable. Here we have the Regimental Sergeant Major for the Grenadier Guards, which is, of course, John Killen. Again, someone that I had previously served with, who is very professional in his job. There we go, Warrant Officer Class 1. The Regimental Sergeant Major of the Grenadier Guards. Now the Chief Constable concludes his inspection by once again conferring with the officer on parade representing the Guards, which is of course Lieutenant Sophie Williams. There's also various other members of the army over there on the left-hand corner as well. I can see a sergeant from the Royal Military Police, as well as some other various dignitaries and so on, and officers and the likes. And that is the inspection concluded, with the Constable returning to his position there. Now the pillow with the keys on being taken back from the Lord Chamberlain. These are, of course, the keys to the Tower of London, which are part of the famous ceremony of the keys, which is undertaken between the yeoman warders and the Grenadier Guards, or whichever detachment of soldiers is assigned to guard the Tower of London, it being not uncommon for other regiments to take the honour. Now the Lord Chamberlain again comes to confer with the Chief Constable. Oh. Not quite sure what's happened there. Oh, there we go. The Lieutenant Sophie Williams calling the Grenadier Guards into slope arms, and then presumably being called into a general salute, this time instead of a royal salute, which will of course be for the national anthem, or it's for the entire parade, of course. Again, being... Oh no, not the national anthem, I believe it's Skiffia, I think the song is, I'm not sure. But now the party now leaves and departs for the King's House. All entering there, with the parade being called back up to slope. To where they will now return to shoulder. When that sword has been resheathed and the warrant officers fall out and come round to the front of the parade. And that concludes the installation of the 5th Constable of the Tower of London. Now the officers and warrant officers there forming, I'm assuming what is going to be the dismissal there of the guards momentarily, probably having a quick debrief first. The yeomen and the guard also receiving their respective debrief. Yeoman orders now being commanded to ground their partisans there. Presumably about to be fallen out, and it looks like we've had a Just Stop Oil protester join the parade. The Chief Constable is now leaving the King's House. Well, it appears the Just Stop Oil protester has been deported to Brazil. New Chief Constable thanking the Yemen warders for coming. The Grenadier Guards being dismissed there by Warrant Officer Edward Molyneux, I believe. Oh, not Molyneux, sorry, apologies, wrong individual. The Yemen of the warders still being, sorry, Yemen warders still being on parade, or they're being told to, they all seem to be disappearing. Oh, they're off to the pub. Well, and with that concludes the installation of the Chief Constable there of the Tower of London, with the relevant guards and Yemen warders currently being dismissed. So with that, thank you all for watching this broadcast. I will probably go and join everyone in the pub shortly. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 6 PM with my exclusive interview with the leader of the upcoming Force party, which is still yet to be registered, and that will be airing at 6 PM on the Adrian Show here on WilliamsTV. So make sure that you do not miss out on that, as that will be a great interview. We'll also be at the Business Expo in Westbridge Exhibition Hall tomorrow at 5 o'clock, so I will have a little stand there, so feel free to come and say hello. And with that, thank you all for watching. This has been Adrian Williams here live from the Tower of London here in London.